Hey friends, Molly Carmel here. You know me. I'm your coach. I'm your bestie. We are here together, and I am fiercely devoted to your freedom from your issues with food and with weight. And one of the ways that we talk about this is through breaking up with sugar, divorcing dieting and breaking up with sugar. And woo, who would have thought that breaking up with sugar would bring up so many feelings about this morning ritual of coffee? Well, I did, because when I broke up with sugar, I broke up with artificial sweetener after I broke up with sugar. And the last thing to go was the artificial sweetener in my coffee. And as this community grows and flourishes in these first few weeks, and I understand this, I want to make sure we talk about it, to be honest. People are feeling such grief and such loss around what to do with their morning coffee. So much so that they are willing to sacrifice freedom in the spirit of keeping their coffee sweet. My friends, I will tell you this over and over and over again. This is what an abuser does. An abuser tells you you can't live without it. You'll never be happy again. And sugar is a great abuser. And by the way, fake sugar is like a worse abuser than sugar. There's a YouTube video all about fake sugar. Because sometimes when you really believe something's good for you, and then one day you realize that the research has said that it's really bad for you, and then you give it up and you're like, oh my God, this has changed my whole life. I feel that way about sugar, as you well know, but actually when I gave up artificial sweetener, my life changed in so many ways. It's I've just done it all before you. So here's the thing, you may think it's no big deal to put a half of a packet of artificial sweetener in your coffee in the morning, or it's no big deal, Molly, it's just 2 tablespoons of sugar. Oh, Molly, it's no big deal. It's just coffee mate with artificial sweetener in it. And I got to tell you something. Usually when we say something like it's no big deal, that is key. That is secret code for it's a big deal and I don't want to talk about it. So I'm your coach, and I like to talk about uncomfortable things with you. It is a big deal. It is a big deal because if the first thing you're doing in the morning is lighting up your taste buds with sugar, it's not a surprise to me that you're craving sugar all day. And you want freedom. You want freedom. And let me tell you something. You can do hard things. You can have coffee without sweetener in it. You can have half and half in it. You can have all these amazing nut milks in it. You can have it black. You can have it iced. You can turn to tea. There's so many options available when it comes to enjoying coffee. And I have friends that I drink 2 cups of coffee with half and half in it almost every day. I'm a real ritualized person. But I have all of these friends, my sugar-free buddies, that have actually become very serious coffee connoisseurs in all of this. And they have fancy coffee, or they really learn to appreciate it black. I'm not sure I'm ever going to get there. I like my coffee with some cream. And frankly, I want to say one more thing, because there's actually a lot of thought in the food addiction community, of which, I'm on the outskirts of it, whatever, that actually talks about caffeine being a trigger to eat. I think that research is very true to me. And also, I don't want to give up my coffee. So you're the boss, applesauce, you choose. But just to know that sometimes caffeine can make us really not grounded, not wise, and turn us to wanting to eat more. It's a good piece of information. And when I gave up artificial sweetener, and so many people who have done it, who have given up the sweetness in their coffee, actually makes them drink less coffee, which is a kind of a pro in that way. If we're going to do this in a way that's sustainable, we want to take as much of the trigger out of the way. We want to have you as free as possible from your relationship with sugar. And so we want to try to do that this coffee situation, that's a no-brainer. And there's so many people who have been able to do it. And like, there's not a person who I've treated who has given up the sugar in their coffee and said it was a bad idea. In fact, quite the opposite, right? Every single person is like, it's a real game changer. My cravings went down significantly, and I can't believe how much I like the coffee. So listen, don't knock it until you've tried it. I know what I'm saying, maybe putting up all your defenses. No, Molly, you don't understand. It's different for me. I can't do it. That is the key. Like when those defenses come up, right? When you don't understand and it's no big deal. When those guys come up, that is cue for you to do a second evaluation of what is going on here. And by the way, what if it really did decrease so many of your cravings? What if like this is one of the major keys to your freedom? I mean, worst case, try it for 66 days and then go back to sugar in your coffee. Like no love lost, you know, but I don't think you will. And I think you know that that's true. You are stronger than you know, and don't give in to what this evil abuser is telling you that you need it in your morning coffee. You don't. Try it. So listen, I want to know everything you're thinking about this coffee concept. Do you have questions? Do you have thoughts? Do you have feelings? Do you have ideas? I want to know it all. And here's how I get to know it. You leave me a comment. And I want to know everything you're up to. I hope you want to know what I'm up to, especially as it comes to YouTube. So subscribe to the channel. Turn on the notifications. We're putting this up all of the time. I'm so fiercely devoted to you finding this freedom. It is yours for the taking. I believe in you. And I'll see you soon.